Sorry, guys. Few technical difficulties. We're getting all worked out here, though. Thought we were going to be definitely on time, but no, not with how this has been going. Okay, well, how's it going, Joe?
Good.
I think we're actually live now. Like, we're actually live. It's actually working. What a pain in the butt. But Moto Monday number 93. It's just you and me, buddy. It's just you and me.
And Charles. Or Charlie.
Oh, yes. Guys, you can tell me what you think of my new friend, Charlie. So, Charlie is this rock that I have here. I'm going to laser engrave some sayings on him. I'm not entirely sure what, but I feel like...
Spitters or quitters?
No, Joe. No. Something profound. I feel like if you're going to have an engraved rock, you need something profound. Well, I already have that quote, though, that this is an obsession.
But if you do that, you can get rid of the poster.
But I like my poster. Are you hating on the backdrop?
No. I don't have to look at it. It's
Intern Joe doesn't like my backdrop. What's going on, everyone? So anyways, Moto Monday. We're going to make a couple phone calls to some folks in the local Northwest moto scene. First, we're going to call Wayne Hutchinson. And then after that, we're going to talk to Kevin Jansen. Two guys who've been around, have rode a lot of dirt bikes, and I think it'll be fun. I want to talk to some guys at some shops. This would be actually kind of fun to do a part 2 with, maybe next week. Just how's the economy been? How's bikes been? Internet's really been taking over for everything. Like, what's it like trying to battle all the big, internet shops? So I think this one will be fun. So guys, bear with us. We're going to get going here in just a minute on my janky phone, making this phone call because I dropped my cell phone in water. And yeah, apparently the phones don't like that. Did you know that? Phones actually don't like being dropped in water.
Yeah.
I'm trying the classic rice trick right now.
Somebody dropped... Oh, yeah. I'm drawing a blank. Trent Scott dropped his in water. Recently, he had a life-proof case, and I guess it had a crack in it.
Oh, well, that will happen. It was hardly even in there for a moment, but I think it also got in the back of the case and just kind of held in there. It's like, ooh.
It's back at home, though. It's a Chinese phone, and you threw it in some rice.
Ah, you're so funny.
You're so funny.
You're so funny. All right, we're going to call Wayne first. Let's see here. Trying to operate this other phone.
Fly lice.
Yeah. Joe, you're on one already.
I want to tear already.
All right, we're going to call Wayne Hutchinson. Make sure I get his number right. And we're going to talk dirt bikes for a little bit.
Hello.
Hey, Wayne, can you hear us?
I can.
So we had
working.
Yeah,
go ahead.
We were having some technical difficulties there. So
yeah, I looked. The feed was working fine right before you called, you could see you moving and talking and whatnot.
Okay, yeah, we were a little late because we were having some camera difficulties, and then we had phone difficulties. Then we had to reboot the whole thing, and I don't know, classic Moto Monday though.
Yeah.
But how's it going, man?
That's going pretty good. Just been washing bikes after a big weekend riding.
And where'd you go riding at?
Went out High Desert in Christmas Valley.
And how was it? It seemed like a perfect weekend for riding. Everybody was out on their bike.
Well, it was good because the place, like I did a post about it earlier. It's different, man. It's like just pure blood, like dirt bikers. It's not like anything you experience up here. It's just it's like a community. I mean, honestly, the track is cool. I don't think anybody would go there and be like, this is the greatest place I ever rode. Mm-hmm. But, it'd probably be, top 70%, I bet, of any place. But it's the vibe and the people. There's no, you don't hear, I'm really getting over, everyone complaining about motocross is expensive, so you have to sell me your bike cheap, or, like Lancaster, I don't think it's expensive. It's, it's people's image. But, you just don't have none of that there. There's no complaining or, this guy's pissed or that guy's pissed or this guy's fast and slow. It's just like, I don't know, if you just grabbed like 50 of you and went riding, it's just the vibe and the community. It's like, I wish every track could be like that.
Nice. So everyone's keeping on two wheels, because I've heard from a few people that went riding at other places that didn't exactly do the best at
yes
keeping
and
on
no.
two wheels.
My buddy was a little tired and he wanted to try the 450. And I thought to myself, man, this is the last thing in the world to be on if you're tired, because, people start over jumping something. You don't really realize how fast those things are, because you just barely touch the gas and doing 90. He came in the corner a little hot, grabbed the front brake, and just slammed him on. He probably slid 30 feet on his back with the bike on. He broke 3 ribs, a bunch of bruises, and it was a little gnarled. So I kind of, I had the 250F. I kind of felt like it was my fault. But other than that, it was good. I mean, it was, it's a lot of, they got kids tracks that are good. Everyone kind of looks out for everyone, it's, it's a rip though, for most of us up here. But if you could make the drive, and it's definitely worth it. I'm from there, so it's a little different for me because I grew up in La Pine and this and that. But it's just kind of cool, you can't really describe it. It's like you just gotta get out there and check it out.
So you're from La Pine, man. I have never been out to a track like that side of the mountains out there, because, well, there really hasn't been many of them. But what is it? The staging area 2510 is hands down one of my favorite places to ride. Like, hands down.
No, there's a lot of good riding. There was a place in La Pine that I grew up there, so it was the pit. It's called the Pits. It was like a hang out. But then they a kid had got messed up pretty bad and passed away years ago, so they fenced it off and it became just a bike thing or a BLM riding area. But as far as natural motocross or free ride, I mean, it's got in this big, I don't know how big it is, 60-acre square or whatever. It's you have 5 different types of ground, pumice, soft, rock. So it's it was Tiger's favorite place to ride, so his memorial ride was there. And when he found out I was from La Pine, at that point he became like my buddy. He'd always text to see if I was in town and ride a lot, and it's kind of a neat place. But I'm not sure if you were there or not. But Christmas Valley is 60 miles from La Pine, so it's it's a rip, man. But if you're into it, you're into riding and what it is, at its core, that's I think the place to go.
Yeah, I like, well, for one, I like the weather down there. But, I like going out there. It's been a grip since I've ridden out, out there. But definitely I think it's overdue for a trip or two, I'm down for it. It's not that bad. Like, it's a little bit of a trip for us, more Portland area. But it ain't that bad.
But it's not, I mean, if you figure out what the memory's worth, because you think about all your best days riding, you never look back and say, oh, man, that pipe on that YZ was cool, or you almost got to think about what bike it was. You usually use the bike in the memory to remember what year it was. Like I had a 250 this year or a 450 this year. The memory is of your friend falling down or leaving his his wash plug in the pipe or some goofball thing. So the value per time traveled, I guess, as far as riding goes. The value of memory and time, and what motorcycles are to me. The process of it is just it's worth the drive.
Yeah, for sure. So, man, we start off right into riding stories here, but for those of you for those listening who don't know who you are, you got like a 20-second little bit, and maybe go into one of the reasons we're calling is the shop you're at, because I was telling Joe like a couple days ago, like we should talk to some shop guys. It's 2019, times are changing fast. Internet is making a serious dent into every industry in the world, and I want to talk to some like local bike shop guys, especially ones who've been doing it for a while, and you've been in the industry for a while now, so want to talk to you a little bit about it. But first, how about just like a little quick intro, for the people who don't know you.
Quick summary. Just like anybody else, you fall in love with dirt bikes for whatever reason, before Instagram and a look at me, the image scene of it, it's kind of, that wholesome little boy thing that you do. And then I started in parts at 19, been in the industry basically since then. I'm 46 now. I'm a general manager at Mid-Columbia Marine and Yamaha in Hood River, Oregon. this place is my challenge is the people you talk to, or when you talk to industry people, are going to be different, because this place is, I mean, the name is Marine, right? So it's been a boat store, and obviously I'm a big, the Powersports side, so we've been growing that and trying to, get the name out there. A lot of guys, I remember when like Nathan Teal first came and saw me, he was like, dude, I didn't know this place existed, because it's, you think of it, people know it as boats and this and that. And I'm trying to keep it, for better or worse, I don't know if this is right or wrong, but I'm trying to keep it old school, like that good shop vibe style, but, I don't know. I don't say anything negative about anyway, but the bigger, in the, what I call the city stores, Portland area, whatnot, they used to all be, like everyone rode, man. It was like, it was cool, You could go in there and talk to anybody about any bike in the world, and they knew about it, because it's who they were as their identity. Those were these people at Sunday at 1 when the shop's been closed for 20 hours. That's just who they were. And I feel a lot of those, it's become a store now. Who can sell it the cheapest and fastest and add back in product, which is basically the business model of a car lot. And for, like I said, for good, better, or difference, and maybe I'm holding on to the past, I'm getting old, I don't know what it is, but I'm trying to just keep that old, just a shop, where it's cool to be, it's cool to hang out. Obviously, if you do get that cool element, parts and accessories, like you mentioned, the internet, or the crazy mad shopping, and you can keep that cool element and that family vibe where it's cool to chill and be at, that's your best advantage or defense against the mad internet, the crazy prices and, all the things that a business owner challenges would be battling the internet, obviously.
Yeah. So what's more tough to battle against? Is it the, big dealerships, or is it just the sheer amount of online shops, or the amount of people it seems there's guys out there at the track who like just Amazon. Literally, they're like Amazoning their gear and everything now. Like, this wasn't even a thing a few years ago, Yeah,
I mean, I kind of look at that two ways, because as a consumer, man, you still work for your dollar, right? So you want to stretch it.
Yeah, totally.
And if you can get a Bell Moto 9 for $500 on Amazon, but, it's $600 at a dealership, I can understand that. But another negative thing that runs parallel with that is if Amazon, let's say they buy 17,000 Dunlop 755s or something. So they get for ordering so many, let's say they get 5%. Then let's say they pay cash or whatever big.com it is. So then they get another 5%. So they can sell this stuff 10% below invoice, right? So then when they come into the shop and say, hey, blah, 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 wherever.com has this for X amount of price, and when you can't match that, even though you try and do everything you can to help someone, they think, well, they can do it, so you should be able to do it, because very few people understand like the administrative side of things, or what motorcycles cost, or what this and that. Because if we're making $2,000-$3,000 a motorcycle, I'd be a millionaire. It's like it's the understanding of the consumer. That's hard to tackle when they think that we can just sell it for that, and we're just being jerks, and we're just money hungry, which isn't really the case. So there's kind of I'm kind of pretty open-minded person, so I can see both parallel streams that run next to each other in those situations.
Okay, well, it's 2019. You've been doing this a while, and not just at that shop either. I know you've been around. Like, how are you feeling like the vibes are like going into this year? Like, we're just starting the racing season. Personally, I think a few years ago, everyone was kind of taking a hit. It was kind of going downhill. I was like, this is not like the glory days of 01, 02, in the Northwest industry. I kind of got a good feeling it might be going in a good direction. It seems like some of the rider numbers at like practices and racetracks seem decent. But like from someone who's actually in the shop, seeing these guys day to day, what are you thinking? How's this going so far?
What's going it's going good. We're the Powersports, so I've been here for 3 years. They didn't really sell a lot, but now, sold a lot of boats and boat motors. So Powersports, I'd basically grown about 300%. But you see a lot of different things. I think it's definitely on an upswing. You still got the customers that, that read a magazine article and just, like God wrote it. It's a law about whatever bike and this and that. And then, it's open-minded. I'm definitely seeing so in Yamaha, which is going to be a little different, definitely a big swing in the off-road models. I don't mean TTRs. I mean like 450Xs. So, I'm completely sold out at 250X two-strokes. I sold out at 250 motocross two-strokes. I've sold out at 250FXs. I got one WR450 in right now, the new one, the 19. And, I think I got one 450X left. But, it's hard to give you a direct answer and say, Justin, this is what's going on, because I'm in such a different area and my battles are completely so different, because my battles are more like a collateral damage type of deal with the big dealers, dumping stuff to try to, sell it. But so the off-road performance models, because, an X model is a closed competition race bike, just like a GP bike or something like that, just not moto.
Yeah.
And then they're good for vet guys or guys my age that don't really moto, because you can do everything on them. Two-strokes are apt, seem to be really on the uptick. We sell, we see all the guys, because we're right by the Hood River Trail system, obviously. So everybody comes in, before they go ride, they forgot something. So the Husky dudes and KTM dudes, I stock oil for those and filters and this and that. So I think that stuff's definitely up on swing. I have sold out we're out of YZ450s, so we sell a lot. It's kind of old dirt bikes are up too. I see younger people getting into it, and older people getting into it. So it's not just, a certain group of kids that race at PIR or a certain group of kids that race in Mountain View. It's definitely expanding. I feel in certain areas the community's getting better. It's not like anti-KTM, anti-Yamaha, if you were, like a Chevy Ford type of thing like it was getting for a while. So people seem to me, more biased. More people are coming in and talking more. I kind of, to piggyback on what you asked about like Amazon and that, people are coming in a little more educated, but not educated enough where maybe they'll just go ahead and buy stuff. They'll come in a little bit more hands-on, it seems like. But then again, I'm kind of in a different area. So I'm in an area where X models make a lot of sense. So anything that I do or see is going to be a lot different than maybe, Beaverton or Power or Motorsport. And because of the way they do things, I have to, I market a little different, so I'm from Central Oregon, so I sell so many bikes that, to friends and whatnot. Eastern Washington, a lot of Idaho, even down into Reno, especially on the boats and stuff like that. But I kind of go for that area because the city area has turned into whoever is the cheapest is the best shop. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
Which again, if you're a consumer, I understand that. I can't say, if they're going to lose $1,000 on a bike or $500, you shouldn't buy it because they're trying to outdo another shop. Good for you, because that's really who wins in the end is the customer. But the value of trying to keep it that shop and getting people closer and getting a little bit community better, it's a little different out there or out here per se than if you walked into you're not gonna walk in our store and they're gonna say, how's it going, you want to buy this? And they're not gonna send another, what I call the fancy pants guy, like a second swing, try to close it, and none of that stuff. It's just try to just have everyone teach educational things about the bikes, not how cheap it is, or try to build more value. But again, we see different things than your city stores will.
Yeah, and you brought up something interesting I wanted to ask you too. So the magazines, the few that we have left, but the magazines, they will do these reviews on, the 5-bike shootout. What's the best 250 or what's the best, okay, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
Straight up.
Well,
how much value do you hold in those reviews, in the magazines, the big ones?
Well,
like specifically the bikes. Because I could tell you my opinion, but I want to know your opinion.
Well, so here's the deal. Been around a long time. I've known people that have, which I guarantee you probably have too, that have been in those tests, like friends, and ask them, like, dude, how did Honda win when every one of you guys had the fastest lap time on a Kawasaki? They just laugh. Like, I don't know if they're saying a gag order or what. You look, some of those ads are kind of like a Ford Motion type. Not ads, but who's ever got the latest thing? Like a Motor Trend type awards for something. For example, I tell people this: you got to read between the lines, just like in life. You know what I'm saying? Don't take it at face value. For example, there was a test in 18, and I'm not being biased because I'm, ride Yamahas, but you're reading a test, Well, Yamaha hasn't been changed, so and so it got fourth, and it doesn't have electric start, and it just weird stuff like the intake is loud. And then it's like this guy pro, they give the bio, currently racing YZ250F, currently, so they're picking let's just say a white bike, and then as the winner. But if you read them, you got to read like your guy. So if there's a 50-year-old intermediate, I'm probably going to more worried about him than a 16-year-old pro,
Yeah.
So you kind of got to decipher stuff, man. It's like almost like reading, even when I was a kid, man, Honda, I have a vintage race. So every time I get a bike, I go on eBay and I get that magazine, right? So for example, in the 89 250 shootout, the CR250 got the worst and best bike. Like, that's really what it says. So, you gotta take stuff with a grain of salt. It's kind of like in a shop. No matter what shop it is, I don't care what it is. Someone's gonna say something bad about it. Maybe they got buyer's remorse, or they, no one feels like they want to be sold anything, but everyone likes buying stuff. Or maybe they felt that, But I also take, if they say, "Hey, Wayne, this was the greatest deal. He's cool," I take that with the same grain of salt that I would if they say it's bad, because people complain, right? So it's like over stupid stuff because they're butthurt about something else that really has nothing to do with me or the shop, or a bad thing about motorsport that has nothing to do with them or this and that. So just like with the bike test, you got to kind of read in between it. If everyone loves the Honda, but they all own Kawasaki's and they're all racers and the pros and intermediates are riding them, granted, they might own the bike because a shop gave it to them, or Kawasaki gives 7 trillion demos, if you're a Team Green dealer, so they can get, shops can loan them out to everyone. But read in between that, and if a guy is 49-year-old over 40 pro, and he's got a man-sized body, 6'2" and 200 pounds or whatever,
Man-sized body.
Listen to him. We get bigger, your hips get bigger, everything's bigger.
I struggle with them all across the map, honestly, and I'm not going to point out any one magazine over the other, but I kind of just flip past. Honestly, like, I've seen some stuff, especially when I've ridden a couple of the bikes. I don't have any real bike loyalty other than I do have a soft spot for a couple of European, like, TMs. I like my weird Italian bikes, but overall, though, I'll ride anything. I mean, I make Honda jokes all day long. I have a couple Hondas now, I'll ride anything. So I'm fairly unbiased, and I read some of the reviews, and it's just like, yeah, you know what? They also, Brand X also has a 3-page spread in here. So next, dude, I just can't hold weight in it. I'm sorry, and I don't think it's even a conspiracy theory, but I think, of course, the opinions, like you said, the opinions of certain writers, you can take that. Okay. That's probably what their actual opinions and stuff was. But when they picked the winner, dude, from day one, I'm just not really buying it. And this is someone who was in journalism before, I've written for a lot of these magazines, and I just, whatever. It's all about the ads. I agree, pretty for sure. Ads.
I mean, that's it. It's almost like the thickest book or magazine, if you pick up literature, a printed word anymore, the most ads, it's probably true. But if you do look at it, and the guy, like I said, if they're all riding a CR 450 but they're all picking a KTM, it's hard. I mean, like, what do you do? Like, you own this bike and your lap time is faster on this, but you're not picking this bike because it's louder in third gear at $7,000, So I don't really. You gotta get. The thing is, like, motocross, so you got to get out there, like, not to piggyback on high desert, but you can go and talk to everyone, and half the people are like, ride my bike. What do you think? I bought this and I don't like it. I wish I would have, it's like, I don't need to ride everybody's bike, but it's get that. But you got to just go out and be part of the community and listen to people, like, or hell, pick one. If you like yellow, ride a Suzuki. I mean, if it's not going to change your life and it's on sale, or, different bikes people can ride better. Honestly, I've always seemed like I could ride RMZ 450s really good and YZ250S really good. I mean, since the inception of both bikes. I've never owned a Suzuki, but I was fortunate, it worked, and I've been able to ride every motorcycle made, just because jobs. I could probably have a picture on Facebook on riding something of everything, but you gotta really talk to people, man. Don't everything's such BS anymore. If magazines came out, it was pretty true, man. It was like the gospel. Then they figured, hey, we can manipulate this, and this guy pay us, and we can make money. Then it gets BS. Internet comes out, it's like, you know what? We're old school. We're gonna keep it. This is the real deal, and then same thing. Oh, you're gonna pay me to put ads in my podcast or this and this, and then that changes. Mm-hmm. But if you go to shop places like, not to piggyback the High Desert, or Albany's another one where people are kind of easy to talk to. There's a couple of other ones that you say don't need to name names. They got high pace, and it's more about the image and look at me and did you get that picture or cropping the picture, all that crap. But get out where people are real, man. Like where people will say, hey, I bought this bike. This happened to me. So a guy bought a 2-stroke of a white bike, and he was like, hey, I wish I wouldn't have bought this. I just thought, it was cool, or everyone seemed to like him. So that's why he bought it. And he was honest about it. So that's cool. And now, honestly, he started talking to me and everyone in my group, and he's actually he's selling it to another friend and buying a YZ250F for me, which isn't like, I'm not, trying to say, hey, look, I turned him off that or nothing. But the thing is, he didn't come to me and just say, oh, hey, Wayne, you like Yamahas, I'll buy one. It was the other people talking and other people riding them. And even if he would have went and got a Honda or whatnot. But the point is, he bought his bike based off somebody else's opinion. But if he would have just came to the track and talked to people, go on Facebook, join if you want to. That's, this is totally your question, just even though I already knew this, but for some reason wasn't even in my brain until you asked that question, was join groups where the people got to, they got to let you in or whatever. Join groups that people are legit. Like, don't go YZ450 only, right?
Yeah.
And go on there and say, what's the best bike? YZ450. I don't feel like I got a true answer there, but just try forums where people look out for each other. Where you can talk to a guy that rides in North Carolina in clay. And you say, well, hey, that's a lot like Mountain View or Washougal when it rains, and get people's opinions and do the math.
Yeah, totally.
Take the data. You process it, and then figure out which one's right for you. If you're on a budget, go buy an 02 to 07 RM250 or an 06 to whatever, YZ250. I mean, there's different bikes, and ask those questions. I got $2,000. Well, what bike do you think I should get? But don't ask why, like what bike should I get? But why, why does Justin think I should get an 06 YZ? Like, why are you telling me that? Oh, my buddy had one, and it had a gnarly power band, and that thing would beat any 450. Well, first of all, it won't be any 450, so stop talking like that. But you know what, does that make sense? I hope I'm not making
totally.
the question too long, but talk to people, man.
Talk to people, get some real talks, get
involved in the community, and maybe this guy, and people like to talk about their stuff, they're going to tell you, but like these guys out here, if they tell you, hey, I shouldn't have bought this and this is why, man, listen to that guy. You know why? Because he's being honest.
Yeah, no, totally.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I get that.
And I think that's what's missing in our whole sport. Like, I haven't raced a modern bike. I've talked about this a little bit before, but I don't even know when, man. 04, maybe 2011. I think the last time I raced, I always joked that Ryan Messler made me lazy because I was behind him in a race and he just pulled off. And so after I said, dude, are you okay? He said, oh, no, I just got tired, so I just stopped. And I thought, that's the greatest idea I've ever heard. So I raced one more time in Mountain View and didn't do the second moto because I was tired. It was genius. How come I never thought of that? But because of that, there's just no community anymore, man. It's the only real community left is the Harley guys, whether they're the fanboy guys, the doctors that buy the fancy ones, or some gypsy joker maverick radical, because they'll, if they're driving by in a car and the Harley's broke down, they're going to help them. Some dude on a Nighthawk, they're just going to drive by. But we're missing we're missing that community, and people aren't helping each other. Helping each other ain't saying go buy it from this dealership because they sold it to me cheap, or tell them, hey, it sucks, I wouldn't have got it, or I got it but I liked the motor and I had to get an inch bar riser and how to get a half inch lower the seat and how to get these different pegs. And now it's good for Wayne. But if you rode this bike, you would hate it because it's, you know, ergonomically only fits Wayne. So you got to, I don't know, just get outside, man. It's like the old cliche, you know, go talk to your neighbor, man. The world's not as bad as the internet makes it. And not to sound goofball, but it's true. Go to a track where people are chill, you know, guys with his kids. You know, if there's 4 or 5 big trailers and they're all parked to each other and they're barbecuing, those guys are probably legit because they're all meet there and they're all got their families and they probably all been riding since they're 12 together. And every one of those guys will give you, it could be 7 different bikes. Every one of them will give you a real opinion. Now you take that data, put it in your mental calculator, and do the math. And whatever the answer is, when you hit enter, get that bike.
Yeah, so I'm going to have to let you go here in a minute, but you're basically leading right up to my final question for you, man. So you were saying, like, the community, okay, and obviously, you know, from us who's been in the community for a while, it's a little different than it used to be. You know, I know you like your vintage racing now, and we've had talks on the phone about how it's different. Like it's kind of like in the off-road guys, it's kind of a little different. A lot of moto can be drama, some divas and stuff like that. If you were to sum it up or break it down real simple, though, what do you think would be beneficial for the moto community? Just the Northwest moto community. You know what I mean?
I think if everyone just basically put the phones down, became humble and cool, you know, if you're a fast pro, go tell a guy, a beginner, how good he's doing. You know, if he's jumping a 3-foot double and that's the first time he did it, you know what that's like the first time you win a pro race or do a 100-foot double or whatever. Get involved in that. Have those guys like you. Like, create the community back. You know, get involved with people's conversations. You know, don't worry about what I look like today or editing the picture of you making a corner that you. I mean, I've put pictures up where I've ate shit after it, but the corner before that. Oh, sorry for the cuss.
You're good.
You're good, man.
But you know what I'm saying? Like don't listen to people, man. Go out and ride. Don't just be on the motorcycle.
Yeah.
Like the motorcycle really is nothing but a vessel of a memory and a good time. Rather, it's some people, you know, use it. You know, people will use alcoholism, but better, you know, get it out of your system. But I think the community needs to stop being divas. Get out and talk to the guy next to you. Park by a guy you never met. Talk to him. You know, if you're faster than someone, make them feel faster than you. If you're slower than someone, ask them and listen to them, or, you know, talk to them and, you know, just be cool to everyone and listen to everyone and have fun and stop worrying about what you look like and worry about what you're doing, you know?
I like it. That is solid. Joe, do you have anything to say? You haven't said anything for like a half hour. Joe?
Well, somebody asked about the shootout thing, what I thought. I think that it's definitely, I feel palms are greased. And in myself, working on bikes, I think that, I don't know if they do this because I don't read them, but, you know, they should have a mechanic go through the bikes, because I like Hondas because their fasteners and hardware are really good.
They make great
easy to work
lawnmowers.
on. They make great lawnmowers.
Great
I've been
lawnmowers.
running mine without an air filter for 10 years, and it still starts every time. But, you know, and then, like, bang for the buck. You know me. I love the Suzuki RMZ 450 for the price. I mean, it's a good starter bike, 450. But, you know, yeah, there's definitely a lot of different things to take into consideration. But for me, it's what's easy to work on, what holds together over time. So my opinion is different than a lot of people's, because my opinion is a 450 is fast no matter what color it is.
Oh, yeah.
So
My opinion is 90% of the people out there can't ride 450 really near its potential.
Yeah.
I mean, you could go throw Villapoto on a pit bike, a modded out KLX 110, and he'd beat 90% of the people in their 450s. So
that's my opinion on that.
Yeah.
Man, I ride
cool.
a 250F all the time because you don't got to exercise. You can be, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, man, it's so much better on the arms.
Yeah, I got a fused left ankle, so I don't like to shift. So I like a 450 in third gear.
Oh, well, there you go.
So I have my reason for the 452.
Well, we still got to talk to KJ, man. So I'm going to have to let you go. Before I do that, though,
for sure.
You want to throw out any plugs or how we can find your shop or you on social media?
Well, you know, Mine's tied to Facebook. It's Wayne Hutchinson. If you don't know me, it's Mid-Columbia Marine. Obviously you've been helping with the new emblem and changing Mid-Columbia Powersports, so we appreciate all that. But it's kind of it, man. This kind of is what it is. Just trying to be a shop, not a store. But
you guys are out in Hood River, right?
Yep, Hood River,
right
exit 62.
And
go ride motorcycles, have fun.
What kind
Yamaha,
of
Can-Am. Well, for what we're talking about, just Yamaha.
Yamaha,
because
okay.
we sell Can-Am and fishing boats, but I haven't heard too much about the Worldcraft, say $75,000 fishing boats on Moto Monday. Maybe we could start that as a sister project.
Well, hey, there are people who fish and ride moto, so there are jets. There's a lot of not jet skis.
Boto Monday.
What am I trying to say here? Wakeboard. There's
Well,
a lot of
we sell
wakeboarders
watercraft too. Yeah.
Yeah. See, okay. So yeah, throw the plug out. Yeah, Mid-Columbia. So I appreciate the time, man. And thank you for calling in. Maybe one of these days, if you're around here, we could actually get you in as a guest and chat some more.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Make sure you tell KJ, hey, he's my buddy.
Okay, we'll make sure to tell him, hey, appreciate it, man.
All right, buddy. Thanks, guys.
Have a good night.
Have a good night, bro.
Thank you.
You too. Bye.
Bye. Okay, I gotta grab a drink real quick. It's like hot in here. Yeah. Summer weather is coming. I need a water. Be right back, guys. We're gonna call KJ over at Beaverton Motorcycles. So yeah, just give me 30 seconds here. And dude, I can't believe we actually got him on. Okay, Wayne has been doing this a long time, and I don't know. KJ started probably selling. He was probably working at a motorcycle shop before there was motorcycles.
Maybe.
Back when there was horse and buggies, he was there. You realize, growing up, he's been like a staple for me in the Northwest industry.
He likes watercraft too.
He does.
Jet skis.
He does. He's an interesting cat.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be right back in a second. You talk, Joe.
Okay. Talk. Anybody got any questions? I hope this thing's scrolling all by itself. So, I guess we'll go do some local events real quick on... Well, it's not the right show for that.
Yeah, wrong show.
Okay, I held her down for you. There you go.
Thanks a lot. That was...
Yep, no questions. Okay, good.
Okay, let's see. So, Kevin Jansen, we're just going to call him KJ from Beaverton Motorcycles. Let's make sure I have his right phone number. Been trying to get him on for a while. Phone call will do for now, though. I know he's a busy guy. You know KJ.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Let's drop him a call.
Hello.
Hey, Kevin. How's it going, man? It's Justin.
Hey, Justin. No, not too bad. Just chilling, bro.
You are on the show. We are a little late. We were having some technical difficulties. Come to find out that me and Joe are actually not that good with wires and cameras. We're more just dirt bike guys. So we were running a bit behind schedule. I apologize for that, man.
I was under the table trying to adjust the valves on the computer.
Dude, no worries.
Yeah, weird. The computer didn't have any valves we could tweak.
Yeah, I was trying to, but...
Yeah, I don't... It becomes electronics hooking that crap up, dude.
Yep.
Yeah, well, we run a video podcast, and we're on episode, what is this, 93? And we're still clueless, so we're just kind of winging it. Yeah.
Attaboy. That's the best way to do it.
Nothing like having 70, 80 people live watching us fumble around with wires halfway through a podcast trying to figure it out.
Wow, that's funny, dude.
But, yeah, I appreciate you taking the call, man. We actually just got off the phone with Wayne Hutchinson, and he says howdy to you.
Oh, Wayne? Oh, shit, yeah, man. My buddy Wayne.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Love that dude.
He told us we definitely had to say hi to you. We were just talking about, what he's doing, and I don't know, we went into a little bit about shootouts, and I don't know, Joe, we were kind of all over the map with that one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's out there in Hood River. Done a lot of stuff with him. Me and him used to work together, do a little riding together. Yeah, Wayne's a good cat.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, good guy. So, yeah, but let's talk about you now, man. So you're working out at Beaverton. You're selling dirt bikes, and how long have you been selling bikes, man?
Well, bro, 30 years, probably.
Yeah. So when I said just before I called you, I was like, man, as far as I can remember, he's been slinging bikes. He's been one of the guys, and I'm 32, so.
Well, shoot, I mean, it all started, she was right out of high school, lot boy, and then parts guy, and kind of same company, and being a moto guy, just go shoot, it fit right in, working around bikes and racing, man. So it was, shoot, that's all I know, and that's what I've been in forever.
Do you still have fun with it though?
Oh yeah, man. It's if you're gonna do any kind of sales or anything like that, I mean, I wouldn't do anything but you're around bikes, and half the things we sell, the people I hang out with are all bikes I've sold. They're all end up being my bros, buddies. I mean, that's awesome. Can't this is the only way to go.
Nice. Man, so many people get burned out in this industry. I like the people who still find a way to have fun with it, and enjoy it. They actually enjoy what they're doing,
Oh yeah, for sure. Because basically, I mean, you've got guys saving all his money coming in there but you're selling dudes toys, stuff they work and eat and sleep for. They spend all their hard-earned money for it. It's like super rewarding. It really is. They're the same kind of guys like you are. I mean, you're a motor. They want to become a moto guy or woods rider, watercraft. It's a blast, dude. No doubt about it. I'm getting old, getting a little tired, after a while.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Working Saturdays, and juggling stuff, my whole life.
Yeah. Oh, I bet. But yeah, I mean, you brought up a good point. People are coming to you because they're buying something they want. They're buying a toy. They're buying something that's going to make them happy. It's not like picking up a washer dryer. You're not a washer dryer salesman. You're not a lumber salesman where it's just like, yeah, I need it,
Yeah.
You're selling something that's going to be their baby.
Oh, yeah,
so that's cool.
Is, yeah. That is. That's what makes it so fun, man, because they're gonna, I mean, they're spending their hard-earned money to, go tear it up on Sunday somewhere, do stuff that you love to do. You're selling toys, like I say, it's rewarding. You say somebody's all stoked and getting a new KX or whatever it may be, it's bitching, I'm sure.
Yeah, they're going in there, they're talking to you, they're making a deal, and when they're loading it up, they can't wait to take it back, start setting it all up, if it's a dirt bike, setting up the levers and getting it all ready to go, and then going riding it, They just got that, that buzz or that excitement as they're loading up their new toy. So, yeah, that's got to be somewhat fulfilling.
Oh, it is, man. Totally. If you can help somebody, you get a little inside info on how to set their bike up, or, if you're an enthusiast and do the same thing, and they have questions. I do a lot of adventure riding. There's so many guys that you tell your stories, where you've been, which, God, it's just it's just great times up through the mountains. They want to be a part of that and do that, too. So we live in the zone for moto, watercraft, trail ride. We're in it. So that's what makes it pretty cool too.
So what are you riding these days? What are you doing? You used to be racing out a bit, but man, dude, you seemed like you kept getting hurt on us.
Well, as I got a little older, bro, I just moto's in my life. It's been my whole passion. From the beginning, from riding pro through the 70s all the way up and all the age classes, and I just found out I just don't react like I used to do. I used to try and wash it off. I'm like a sack of potatoes. I hit the ground. My head says I can do it, whatever. So I've kind of stepped back and got back into. I ride a Beta 300. I'm back in the woods again, and I took a stint through my career. I raced off road for 15 years, so, and I touched base with some good old buddies of mine I used to race with that still haven't gone out of the woods. So I hooked up with the crew of guys, and they all ride at a pretty nice little pace, and we flow into the woods. It's fun, man. I really dig riding single track. I really do. Don't get me wrong. It's moto. I do miss it. The road jump, I should have hitting that. That's money. But anyway, Wood's back, and I got into venture ride. I got a Yamaha 1200 adventure bike, and that's been super fun. It's an SUV, the payment in, keep on gravel roading it, keep rolling, dude.
So do you have like a group of guys that you like plot out a course or like a trip and just like go?
Oh yeah. We got a couple routes we take. A couple out over Mount Hood, or or roads we kind of experienced as we went along with GPS stuff, and just kind of try to stay off the pavement as much as we can. But to get to the gravel, you gotta do some pavement action. Which the bikes we ride, the big 1200s, they're comfy on the road. But you just gotta remind yourself when you're on a gravel road and you see a nice little single track off to the right, you just gotta keep going because you save that for the beta. They're big.
What? When you guys go, is this like a half day, 1 day, 2 day thing? How far do you go on these bikes? This is new to me. I don't do this.
Oh, the venture stuff? Oh,
Yeah.
It's huge. Late, what we've been doing late, we just do a 1 day rip. Do a 350-mile day. Get in the morning,
Nice.
kind of plan out a little road trip.
Okay.
Hit the mountains, go over to the Coast Range or via Mount Hood, end up in Barlow Trail. Next thing you know, you're on a road backside of Mount Hood Meadows, and it's pretty fun.
Nice. Yeah, I've never done it. I mean, I've done a little bit of dual sporting. You just on like, a 300 or something.
Right.
But I've never ridden it like a full-on adventure bike.
Yeah, it's gotten big. I have to say, man, in our industry, it's huge. Plus, when you get a little older, you start getting on a race, and you kind of slide into dual sport or adventure stuff. I still, like I said, I still love my Woods Bike 300 beta. I've never had a designated off-road bike. They've always rode moto stuff off-road. There's a difference.
But you liking that beta?
Yeah, it's pretty fun, dude. Haven't been on a 2-stroke since, 01 CR250 probably.
Oh, wow.
Right before all the 4-stroke stuff started kicking in.
Damn.
And it's nice. It's set up for wood. It's plush, the valving, electric start. It's like a little mountain bike with a motor. It's pretty cool. I dig it.
See, Joe, there you go. That's something. We're trying to find a way to get Joe back into riding. I'm not sure what it's going to take. We've come up with a lot of different ideas. What do you think? What do you think we got to do to get Joe back riding?
Well, the thing is with us older guys, he's not that old as me.
Joe, you got called older.
No, I feel it. No, definitely older.
And safer, right, Joe? Dual sport, man.
Yeah.
You still got that option to, gravel road and hit a single track off to the side, and at night go to 7-Eleven on it if you want.
We've been trying to get Joe on a pit bike, and he's like, So maybe that's what you need to do. Do a little like off-road or adventure biking, man, or pick up a XR400. There you go.
There you go.
There you go. There's an old schooler, man.
Get one of the, well, they'll run forever.
600.
If they bring those back, they'd still sell them. I mean, they are die-hard, good old Honda staple, for sure.
Yeah, you almost didn't even need to put oil in it. They just went.
Oh, they don't. It's Honda.
Yeah. It's just Honda.
Yeah, no run. So they are. But pit bikes, those are dangerous. Yikes.
Oh, well, okay, they're a little dangerous, but they're so much fun.
Yeah, they are. When you're as lanky as I am, the way you just get wrapped up in them, boy, they bite you.
Well, that is true. Yeah, I'm 6 foot, and I'm like starting to get towards the bit too
I don't see how
tall.
you ride those things. You ride those good, dude.
I like my pit bikes, but you're definitely how tall are you? You're definitely taller than me.
Yeah, I'm 6'4".
Yeah. Both you and your kid are definitely taller than me, and I'm considered big for motocross.
Yeah, I'm tall kid. He's 6'7". He's a lanky boy.
Is he 6'7"?
Yeah, 6'6.5".
Wow. Yeah. Okay, that's definitely tall for moto.
That's why we run the tall seats and bars fit forward. You set them up, pegs set back. You got to set them up for the lanky guys.
Yeah.
Always been me, lanky.
Seems like
I don't even know how I rode a CR125 back in the 70s. I look at those now and go, how in the hell did I ride that thing? I look like a YZ85 or something.
I actually just picked up one of those. I got me a 1977 CR125.
Did you really, dude?
I'm going to try out a little vintage racing.
That is sick, dude. I had in '77. I had a full me and Troy Floke. I had a full Warren Reed replica right from FMF. Donnie Elmer built the motors. They're too bad boy. I mean, the low boy. It was probably my fastest 125 in that era that I've ever had in my life. It was sick. 77 full FMF, porcupine head, low pipe, gas gearing shocks. We had the aluminum swing arms, all FMF'd out.
Nice.
And that was my favorite bike, man. And I had all the other ones from then on too.
Well, I might need to pick your brain one of these days. I'm trying to figure out what I have to do to this bike. I've yet to actually moto it. I just got it, but
Right.
I still got to figure a few things out on it. I don't. Why did the guys back in the day? Answer me this. Why did the guys back in the day have to run the widest handlebars ever? Why?
Good question, man.
Man, I was sitting on it like I don't understand why this was a thing. But
Yeah, I think they're probably 34-inch bar steer horns. I know I look at some old pictures and I'm going, damn. Look at the size of those foot pegs. Whew.
yeah. Oh well. Hey, mine has
Nice.
fastways. We
Oh,
have
cool.
fastways
You're
on mine.
attaboy. you gotta put some pegs on them.
Yeah, yeah, no, they had already done it. It was actually, Chris Cecilia, right?
Oh yeah. He's always working me to go vintage racing.
Yeah, it's one of his, I believe it's one of his old bikes, actually. And
Oh, really?
it's
Nice
been
work.
around a little bit and ended up in my shop. And so there's already been a little love thrown on. The downpipe scares me, though. Did you guys just dent those things to hell, or?
Oh yeah, we just thrashed them.
I don't like
Just-
the whole downpipe. First off, I can't put it on a stand. And then
Well, no.
I'm looking at it like this thing is going to swallow rocks or breaking bumps, and then they want an arm and a leg for aftermarket ones, or even stock ones on eBay worth $300.
Yeah, you learn to pull them off and bend them back.
That's
I know.
I had my dad on here. What was it, Joe? A month ago.
Yeah, maybe a
we're-
month and a half.
We're telling about one of the scariest things growing up. One of the something that's just permanently stuck in my head is when we used to blow out the pipes. We're plug the ends, hook up the air compressor, get out the map gas torch to get the dents out.
Oh, pull it inside.
Oh, dude. And it's all perfectly quiet as you start hitting 60 PSI, 80 PSI, 100 PSI. And once in a while, the little stopper wouldn't hold. And so it's all quiet. All you hear is the air just going shh. And suddenly, boom, it rockets across the shop.
Danger zone. Jesus.
One of the sketchiest moments of my life was helping my dad blow out dents in two-stroke pipes. Don't like it.
Yeah. Back in the low boy, like my Makos always had low pipes, my Tacos until, the make we'd throw a high pipe on, then everybody slowly went to the high pipe stuff. But oh boy, that'd be scary, dude.
Yeah, no, not my favorite thing. But yeah, I was looking at that, and I asked a few people, I was like, is there another pipe we can run higher? And all the vintage guys just started just coming unglued. No, you have to leave it as is. Like, why?
Dude, you got to, man. That's the era. Gotta run low boy.
Am I going to seriously get hated on if I change the exhaust?
Yeah.
Ah.
Well, I noticed it back in the day. Marty Smith, he had his work spot in 77, and he was running a high pipe at some tracks and, doing that kind of crap. But the real vintage, you got to keep it low, man. Original.
Oh, man, you're killing me, man.
So I had a low FMF red. The pipe was a red pipe. It looked so sick.
Oh,
Love that thing.
that would probably be hard to find these days.
Yeah, I don't think you can come up with that stuff.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
So let's
Plus,
switch.
the tracks and stuff are not mellower now. They'll be probably fun to ride. Their toggle switches on or off power. That's one thing.
Well, we'll find out. That's the one thing that concerned me. I'm glad they swapped out the pegs. Hopefully no one yells at me for having fastway pegs. I'm sorry, I don't like those old school pegs. And I'm definitely putting modern bars on. Screw those, 40-inch or whatever those huge things are.
Yeah, you gotta get rid of the ape hangers, throw some stock. Some bars are 971 bars you like. You gotta set them up for you.
Yeah,
Everybody does though.
Okay, yeah. Just throw in
You're
some
cool
normal
with it.
bars and we'll go out rip because I'm digging vintage racing. I like the not necessarily Arma as much, but most of the local stuff. Like
Yeah.
it's just a laid back crowd. They're just out having a good time riding their dirt bike, you know.
It is, man. That's what I dig about it, man. That's just kick back, and just not so much pressure like, nowadays some of the tracks, everyone's just expected to win and too serious sometimes.
Yes, and so then that leads me to the same question I asked Wayne earlier. So you've been doing this a while. Okay, you've been working in the shops. You've seen the trends. You've seen it go up. You've seen it go down.
Mm-hmm.
Leading into 2019, this will be like a two-part question, but like leading into 2019, how do you feel like things are going? Like a gut instinct. Like, you've seen the ups and downs. You've seen when it was booming and when it's been like just blah, like 08, 09, and
Took a hit.
yeah. So how you feeling like 2019 is going as far as people getting their toys? And then, for as someone who is a motocrosser and has been around the Northwest scene for a while, what do you think it would take for it to keep doing well, basically, for it to continue to grow? Wayne his answer was just like there needs to be a little less drama, people helping each other and kind of getting along like the old days.
Yeah, that's part of it. I mean, obviously, cost of, pushing 10 grand for a 450, and which definitely affects, the fact that people buying. So, everyone's not buying a new bike carrier. They're buying, obviously, same bike for a couple of years, which you can pull off and get away with. But yeah, they just need to, for one, just keep the tracks running. I mean, we need some more tracks if possible. But I think it's going good. I think the moto industry and biking, we're having a great year. I mean, it's definitely blossoming in all forms of it. No doubt about it.
Good.
But yeah, it's just a lot of it is trying to keep the costs down. On some of this stuff it's pretty expensive. Once you get your initial bike and your goodies, then you're pretty much set. From there. But I don't know. It's just,
it is getting expensive. I don't really have an answer how to make it less expensive.
Yeah.
But
probably isn't. With R&D and what goes on.
Oh, hey, we might have electric bikes one of these days.
Oh boy, yeah, I see that coming around.
Yeah, that could be good. It could be bad. It could be ugly. Don't know.
Yeah, don't know on that. I've ridden a few, and they're different. Still like gas, but oh well.
Dude, I almost needed a new pair of underpants the first time I rode one.
You ride one of those Altas or?
No, I rode a KTM that got imported, was the first one. I've ridden an Alta, but I rode a KTM that my buddy literally had to order from another friend over in Austria, who then disassembled and shipped it in several boxes because it wasn't allowed to be imported. And it's basically built around like the KTM 85 chassis. They never brought them in. They never did really bring these ones in, and it was not as fast as the Alta. However, it was fast enough to scare the snot out of me when, like, okay, is it running or I guess it's not running. And like, I'm trying to figure out, okay, it's just perfectly quiet. And he's like, oh yeah, go grab it. Now I'm sitting on it. It's 85 size. Like, oh, this is one of my pit bikes. This is, I grab a handful of throttle and about flipped me off the back. It just instantly hooked up and took off without a sound. And I'm like, okay, I got to figure this out. You're so used to that sound kind of triggering how you move your body.
Oh yeah, ride by sound and compression braking and all this stuff. I mean, they're instant power, man. I've ridden a couple different styles of them. Boy, they're impressive, man.
It's trippy though for someone who's ridden
way trippy, man.
Moto their whole life. It's like you have to relearn a few things. Like, this is just different. This is weird. I mean,
I don't know if I could. I don't know about that.
It was fun to play with, but it was weird.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you agree?
I agree.
A little different.
I don't know. I'm sticking to gas. I've come back to two-stroke. I'm premixing now, brother.
Yeah, you're back to mixing gas for the first time in a long time.
Yeah, no shit. Well, I've always mixed gas, but I've always rode stand-ups, so I'm used to it. But first time on a bike in a while, that's for sure. I miss
Nice.
the 4-strokes though. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm like a 450 Power. They're cheaters. They were good.
Yeah, I'm a 450 guy myself, but in the end, like we were talking earlier, I'll ride anything. A dirt bike is a dirt bike. I'm still having a good time if it's a dirt bike.
Yeah, you gotta love it.
Except my Husaberg.
Keep you on it.
Except my Husaberg.
Oh boy, you got one of those, huh?
I used to.
Yeah.
I would literally buy the bike back just so I could publicly burn it. It was so bad.
I remember those when Chuck and Ron were riding and stuff. And
Yep.
Fletcher was tuning for those things.
It was a
Yeah,
Fletch Trick fully built FC 470. It was fast as snot, handled like hell. It was a left side kick, no auto decomp.
Yikes.
Oh, it was one of the most hideous bikes ever built, but was a rocket ship if you could point it in a straight line.
Kind of got the old 4-stroke movement going back in the 4-stroke national days, of Russ on those things. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, well, this was one that actually Rory Sullivan raced a few nationals on.
Oh, really? Oh, shit, yeah.
Yeah, they got Rory out on one, and yeah, Chuck and Ron were definitely heavily involved back then.
Yeah, for sure.
Which love all those guys. Hated the bike. That's just how it goes. But looking at the time, man, I'm going to have to let you go here in just a minute. But I really appreciate you letting us give you a call, and especially if we're a bit late. But before I let you go, though, dude, any plugs you want to throw out or words of wisdom for everyone?
Well, just all I can say, man, don't stop riding, man. Keeps you young. Love Moto and Beaverton Honda and our we're just trying to keep this sport alive, That's there. So
I
good
like
stuff, man. It's in my life, and I think it's I'd never do anything different. So all you guys are still riding out there, just keep doing it, man. Keep throttling up.
Hear that, Joe? You need a ride. Maybe some of your hair would grow back.
I know. Shit.
Gotta do it, Joe.
Yeah. Hey, KJ, are you guys 7 days a week now?
Yep. This is our first Sunday. We're 7 days a week. Open Sunday, Monday, all through the whole week.
Boom.
Bam.
Wow, one of the few guys doing that. Nice.
Yeah, we're doing something a little different, stepping it up, and kind of basically our whole showroom, we kind of redid it. The bikes are through the parts. They were kind of a little cafe look to it. Changed a lot of stuff around, and it's to the good. It's been good. It's good down there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, Joe, you got anything else from before we let him go?
No, I'll just see you soon, buddy.
Right on. Come by and visit you guys. Appreciate it, guys.
All right. Well, KJ, appreciate it, man. You, sir, have a good night, and I'm sure I'll catch up with you soon.
All right, man. Peace out.
All right, KJ. Later.
Bro.
Okay, ciao.
Thanks for everything you do.
Okay, well, we made it happen. Talked to a few boys who've been doing this a long time, and sounds like we needed to go ride dirt bikes. Like, just go out and ride. I like it. It's a good way to end. Mm-hmm. So we had Wayne Hutchinson of Mid-Columbia Powersports and Kevin Jansen of Beaverton Motorcycles. I like that. We should do this a few more times, calling a few bike shop guys.
Yep.
We would have to spread it out over a few episodes because there's a lot of people out there. But yeah, I like it. So, anyways, guys, we'll be back with our after show in just a couple minutes over on Facebook. Thank you for everyone watching or listening. This has been Moto Monday number 93. Number 100 is coming up soon, Joe.
Yep.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Or should we talk to people about our ideas?
Yeah.
Okay, on the after show.
Okay.
All right, peace out, guys.
See you in a
Be
few.
back in just a few minutes.